Hello there my friends and welcome back to the Scott Ree Project, and today it's all about this beauty, a skinned pheasant. Now some of you may or may not have seen my pheasant mini series where I prepped a pheasant two ways. One was a plucking method using the wet plucking method, and I went on to roast that bird skin on. The second method, which if you've got a lot of birds to process and not a lot of time, is the skinning method. Now, following on from that video, I had a lot of questions saying, Scott, what is the best way to cook a skinned bird? Well, this video will answer it for you. Now, this is a riff on a video I did a year and a half ago, a few little tweaks, and I tell you, this is the ultimate way to cook your skinned pheasant. Right, a quick spin around the ingredients. What we have here is a pheasant, some butter, some fresh thyme, 10 cloves of garlic. Don't worry about it being garlicky. They will be braised whole, fantastic, nice and sweet. I've got some smoked bacon I've cut into lardons. I've used streaky, obviously, to add a bit of fat to the dish. I've got some chicken stock, some pear cider. Pear cider, really, where I come from, Worcestershire, it's called Perry, baby. So get some Perry or pear cider and some cabbage. I'm using Sweetheart cabbage. It's in season. You can use Savoy or white cabbage. I've just got some oil, some pepper and some salt. Now the first thing I'm going to do is obviously put a little bit of colour onto this bird. So I will season it inside and out, and we'll get it gently frying in the pan. So I've got my trusty old Le Creuset pot, which I've had for 15 years. It's a bit battered, but a fantastic bit of kit. So before we start browning our bird then, I want to drop in a little bit of oil and a generous knob of butter. And like I've said in many videos before, that bit of oil in there will stop the butter burning. So my butter is just gently melting into the oil. What I'm going to do is put in my bacon lardons. This will release all the fantastic oils and smokiness from the bacon. We want them nice and crisp for the finished dish, so not on too high a heat. Just take your time, brown these off, crisp them up. Job is a good one. So my bacon has browned off nicely, as you can see in there. Nice and crispy. We'll just take that out of there. No need to worry about draining it. It's all flavour. It'll all add to the finished dish. Just make sure we get all these bits out. Because next, we're just going to fry off our garlic just for a couple of minutes, just to get a little bit of colour on. So when we go then, 10 cloves of garlic, back on the heat. While our garlic is frying gently, just season our bird inside and out. So I'm going to get some pepper in the cavity, some lovely sea salt, and then just over the top and the bottom of the bird. And then crank some pepper over it. We're only going to be browning this just to give it a little bit of colour. Just get it nicely seasoned up. And once our garlic's ready, we can get this beauty in. So my garlic then has took on some colour, as you can see, not too much. So I'm going to take the heat out of that pan a bit, push it back on. I'm just going to gently, as we always do, start by putting it on its legs. Just give it a little bit of colour. As you can see, it doesn't take long. We've got a tiny bit of colour on our bird. We take that out. So with our pot that we've just roasted our bacon, our garlic, and put some colour on our pheasant on, I'm just going to empty all that oil out. So as you can see in the bottom there, it's just the residue or the lovely caramelised meat juices. So into that, I'm going to put 150 ml of chicken stock and 150 of Perry from Ireland. Ah, to be sure, to be sure. Let's have a go on it. Ooh. So about 150 ml in then. Think of that, Mr. Rooney. So that's getting to know each other, coming up to boil, and I'm just scraping up the residue of the bacon and the pheasant off the bottom, building up those flavour profiles. Take a little bit of the heat out, and with my sweetheart cabbage, which I've quartered and cored, I'm just going to lay in, and that will gently start to wilt and build the base for our pheasant to sit on. So what we're looking for then is a very low heat, and we want the cabbage to wilt down and lose its stiffness. So I'm just going to rest that on. I'll check on that in 5 minutes. So as you can see then, my cabbage is wilted down nicely. I mean, you can cut it smaller if you want to, but that will go down even further. I want nice chunks. I am going to put my pheasant in, breast side down. I am going to tuck in my bacon and my garlic, and then just a few sprigs of thyme will go in. Just position it round so it stands up. Obviously breast side down, it will poach in there lovely, and all that liquid will go into the breast meat. And I've got my oven set to gas mark 1. If you look up there, you will see the conversion, and it's lid on in the oven for 1.5 hours. What to do in 1.5 hours? Right then, after 1.5 hours in the oven, the bird should look like that. And granted, it doesn't look much yet, but what we're going to do, because we cooked it for 1.5 hours on its breast, is we're going to sit it on its backbone and the juices. We are going to put the lid back on. We are not going to put it back in the oven. We are just going to let it sit and rest for 20 minutes. So after the allotted time then, there's my pheasant. I have just put it on a plate with some foil, and I've removed the cabbage and the bacon, and I'm reducing the sauce to make it nice and thick and intensify the flavour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve into this fez and see what kind of a job we've made. So first of all, let's take those legs off. Oh, that looks nice in there. Look at that. Obviously no skin on. It is a bit, oh yeah, just look at the juice in there. Can you see that? Taste. Fantastic. Let's get that back on that plate. Just take the breast off. Okay, time to dish up. Now, this isn't Michelin starred food. This is proper country style cooking. So we just put a bed of our cabbage and our bacon in the middle. We will take a couple of cloves of garlic. We'll just put them around the edge. Oh, they're lovely. Oh, I've already been eating that breast, but we'll slice into the breast. Just like that. Oh, yeah. Get that on the plate. I ain't no chef, guys. This is just proper country cooking. And give it a thigh. And a drumstick. Excuse me, I'm eating. And then we'll just give it a bit of that reduced sauce, which is absolutely amazing. And we will just get in there. So a bit of breast, get some of that cabbage, a little bit of that bacon. Oh, like I said, it's not fancy food, but it's goddamn tasty food. Oh, look at that. I can just show you. Can you see that? Look at that lovely pheasant meat. Tender. And of course, drumstick. My favourite. Wow, that was a lovely, hearty, warming plate of great British game. And what you got to remember, you know, I'm not no chef by a long chalk. I'm a cook, it's different, but that is a great dish all the same. Oh man, that cabbage, proper job. And if you've liked what you've seen here today on the Scott Reed Project, my friends, please subscribe by clicking down there, and do check out my vast back catalogue of recipes and butchery. Also find me on social media at Facebook, Scott Reed or the Scott Reed Project. Also on Twitter at the Scott Reed Project. Until next time, again, I'm left to do the washing up. Oh man, take care.